Let's zoom that out. And we're back with another video. Today, we're going to throw the daily summaries out the window, but we're going to be talking about, A, what I'm going to be changing my routine to, my workout routine to, and B, how to not be fazed by what other people say. So, A, workout plan. Simple thing is, I'm not going to be training front and rear delt. From my opinion, I don't think I need to. My delts are very heavy. If anything, I may train rear delt and side delts, but leave out front delt. But I know my traps, my lats, my mid back, that's where I'm lacking. So I really need to build up size in those areas, especially more kind of depth, thickness instead of width in general. But obviously you want both. So program wise, what I'm thinking I'm going to be doing is maybe a 3 or a 4 day a week split, doing some form of push pull legs arms maybe, or a chest and maybe something similar to what Dorian Yates did, which was what I think chest and arms, legs, but yeah. So the program it's yet to be put into stone, but I need to figure out what I need to train and when. Legs wise, I think my legs are all right. They just need to be trained. They're not kind of ahead of everything, but they're not behind. I'd definitely say they're one of my stronger body parts, but they're not my strongest. My shoulders are definitely way too far ahead. Arms are really far behind. Chest behind. Back. Some parts of my back are lacking. So we've got a lot of work to do. That's fitness wise. I'm going to kind of wrap that up quick because I don't want to sit here and talk about what I'm going to be doing for my program exactly. Like, I know that for back, I'm going to be doing some form of a high row, like a wide grip row, some form of a narrow grip row, some form of a wide grip pull down, some form of a narrow grip pull down, some form of a pull over. There's lots and lots of things that are going to come into play there. But I know those are going to be like my 5 basic staple movements, and then maybe a reverse fly, a deadlift movement. Yeah, we'll see. Legs is always going to be the same for me. Squats, Bulgarian split squats, leg extensions, hamstring curls, and calf raises, and then hip abductors. Simple as that. Hip abductors you don't even need to do if you're squatting to proper depth and your legs are pointed outwards. Other than that, you don't really need you're working them plenty enough there. Arms wise, I'm trying to figure out what's been working best for me, if it's high volume or lower volume. I put on a fair bit of size on my arms, in all honesty, this summer. But actually, no, I haven't put on very much size, and that's all been from low volume. So I think I'm going to up the volume. Instead of just doing one exercise, maybe do 2 or 3. So long head, short head, hammer curl. So the 3 different movements. But I think my priority is my short head. It is the strongest part of my bicep, whereas my long head is completely lacking. It's very shallow in that area, so I need to work on my long head a bit more. Tricep wise, I think my tricep's pretty even, but so obviously I'm just going to stick with what I'm doing there, just keep hammering away at that. Shoulders, as I said, just tons of side delt. My front delt's extremely strong, so I don't see a huge reason to train it specifically, especially when I'm doing a lot with chest. That the front delt will be used for. Rear delt, I reckon I'll still do some isolation for it because I want it to start popping out a bit more and separating from the tricep, because at the minute, whenever I have it down, it doesn't quite pop out as much as I'd like it to. Yeah, I think that's everything. Back, shoulders, arms, obviously going to be training forearms as well. Chest, abs, I'll do very minimal abs if any, but not too bothered. Legs, yeah, done. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. But into the main part of the video now, actually looking at how you can not be bothered by what other people say. I know a lot of people struggle with, what is this person going to think of me? Oh no, what are they going to say when they see me do this? When they see me post that YouTube video, What are they going to say? And so what? What are they going to say? Realistically, I heard someone that I know say, his name's Oliver Nixon, great guy. He said that the reason people make fun of you, the reason they laugh when you're trying to better yourself, is because it's their way to try and justify to themselves. Because if you don't do it, they realise that they can't do it. And if you do it, then they're going to feel terrible about themselves, especially if it's someone that you're close with, that you maybe grew up with, that came from a similar situation as you. You can be like, yeah, I came from a very similar situation, but they came out of it doing this and this and this. So how come I didn't do that? That's what that person's thinking. So they're kind of going by whatever means necessary to stop you from accomplishing that, to stop you from making them feel inferior. Because hate comes from a place of jealousy, a place of lust and desire for what the other person has. And that's the problem with it. It's for what the other person has, and it's what the other person is chasing after. That's what you're jealous about. But you don't need to be jealous if you go on your own journey. When you start to improve upon yourself, you start to realise that I have no need to be jealous about what they want, because I know what I want. I am on my own path to achieving what I want, and that means more to me than getting what they want. And that's a huge part of it. And the next way to kind of just forget about what people are saying is, this is the superiority complex coming a bit into play here, but realise that you're better. Like, you genuinely are better than maybe 80-90% of the population. If I look at other people my age, are there really that many doing what I'm doing? How many are still going to uni following the regular route, the traditional route to a 9 to 5, maybe not even go to, just working, doing X, Y, and Z? Like, how many people are actually following that route? Let's have a look at that. I know that I'm doing better than all of those people, and I know that I'm doing better than probably a fair few people that are on the same journey as me, or that say they are, that want to be on the same journey as me. So my superiority complex comes from a place where I know I'm doing better. The only problem is that can hinder you, but I say it can also benefit you hugely with this idea that you are better than everyone. You have to, I believe it's okay to believe that, but you have to work to defend that idea in your own mind. You can't just sit there being fat as fuck at home, not doing any work, and say I'm better than everyone. That's delusional. But if you're working hard as hell every day at it again and again, you're waking up early, you're going to bed late, you're working long hours, you're training in the gym every day, you're training hard, you're pushing yourself to your limits, and then with work you're at the grindstone again and again and again. You're finding every little thing that can be fixed. If you're doing all of that, I believe that a superiority complex is due for you. If you're doing all of that, you deserve it, because you are better. When you're working your absolute arse off, you are better than 99% of the population, because probably even more than that, because probably 99% of the population, they don't even work hard at something, never mind the wrong thing. They may just be sat there thinking they're giving it some effort, but they've never actually pushed themselves to their limits, to their absolute limits of what they can achieve, what they can fathom. It's a shame to see the body give up. No, it's a shame to see the mind give up before the body has, because that is real weakness. Because that's mental weakness, and that's worse than having physical weakness. If you're small and skinny, but you're pushing yourself and aiming to put on size, get bigger, get stronger, get better, then all respect to you. Like, that's brilliant. I love to see that. But if you're bigger, stronger than that skinny person, but you're just sitting there half-arsing everything you do, you give up with like the very smallest amount of fatigue. I would rather spend more time with the skinny person who's training themselves to the absolute limits. When people try to discourage you, it is coming from inside themselves. It's their own reasons of them trying to discourage themselves from doing it. It's how they discourage themselves from trying these things that you're now doing. Maybe that person at one point was thinking, yeah, I could do that. And then you came along and you actually did it. And now they're like, I don't want to. No, let's bin that off. We're not going to do it, but we're going to hate on this person for even attempting it. It comes from such a pitiful place in the person. So you've really just got to brush past it and think, you are better, because the fucking reason of that is because you are better. You are literally better, but pushing yourself to the absolute limits. Yes, results are important. Being at a certain point, attaining whatever it is you may want. But being able to say that day in, day out, you follow the rules, you push yourself to the absolute limits, you do not lie to yourself, you keep promises to yourself, you work hard at everything you do, you give it your all, that's worth more than anything else. So I just want to say, thank you for watching the video. See you in the next one.